Thanks, everybody. Welcome to Build. I'm your host, Ricky Kemler, and our next guests are two of the stars of the upcoming Michael Bay action film, 6 Underground. In it, Melanie Laurent and Adria Arjona join forces with Ryan Reynolds, Corey Hawkins, Manuel Garcia-Rulfo, and Ben Hardy to take on the world's most evil bad guys, and they blow a lot of stuff up, Michael Bay style, along the way. Let's take a look.
How's it going over there?
You're really ruining my flow right now, you know that?
You got an issue. His movement, man.
We have 15 minutes.
It's time.
Hit it.
Hello, boys.
What if I told you, I know what happens when you die? You become a ghost.
No more criminal records.
No more office parties. Or stupid weddings.
The best part of being dead is the freedom. No policies or politics.
No one touch. He's mine.
We answer to no one. You could take out some truly evil people.
He's stuck at the stairwell.
Guys, I got a bad idea.
Don't have bad ideas.
I have good ideas.
Was that a bad guy?
These people were declared dead.
None of us will be remembered. What's about to happen will.
Good things when you raise the bad ones, right?
Who the hell are you?
We're no one.
If they exist, they can be made not to.
Bobby, they have fighter jets!
You see that? Yeah. You see that? Sorry for yelling.
Welcome to the world's biggest magnet.
Are you out of your mind?
Grenade!
I wasn't sure it would work. I mean, I wasn't sure. I had a suspicion, but this is all so fucking dangerous.
Everybody, please put your hands together from 6 Underground, Melanie Laurent and Adria Arjona. Is it right? Is it right?
That's okay. Yes.
That's okay. That means I barely got it right? That's okay. That's okay.
I'm so used to it. I don't know if you heard last night, but Michael yesterday called me Adria Arjona or something like that.
For Adria.
Yeah, it's better than Adria. Yeah, so you did all right.
I did okay. Congratulations on this movie, a true Michael Bay movie. First things first, I'm so curious what it's like to do these things in a Michael Bay movie where you know you're going to see yourself looking incredibly cool afterwards. Because you're doing them, but you're not doing them in slow motion. So you have no idea what it's going to end up looking like.
Sometimes we have a feeling it's gonna look like when we're like online with that plane. Like that was our almost like last day of shooting. We were like, it's gonna be slow motion for sure. We had a feeling of like
We kind of walked in slow motion. That's what you're not saying. That Michael's like, you guys, the camera's in slow motion. You guys don't have to walk in slow motion.
we were like, it's terrible.
The cast for this is incredible, and it's not just that it's diverse, but I just don't think it's the expected cast for a movie like this. How did this happen? How did it come together? When did you hear about the project, and when did you get involved?
I heard about the project just by a normal audition, really. And I tend to, when I get a script, I like to just read a script and not know who's directing or in it, because then you would obviously just get so excited and want to do it for the wrong reasons. And I genuinely read the script and I was like, this is insane. And then I was like, oh, it's Michael Bay. Of course it is. And then it was like Ryan Reynolds and then Melanie and then Corey. And I was like, well, this just seems too good to be true. And then when we got to set, I was like, oh, wait, these people are extremely talented and so nice and genuine. And we've really become like this tiny little family. I mean, last night was so sad because it's like our last big event all together.
Right, and I imagine you were shooting for what, like 6-7 months?
Oh, no. 5.
5.
Yeah.
That's surprising to me.
Feeling was like a year.
Yeah.
But that was 5.
Because Michael Bay commits to practical effects, and the chase scenes are by and large and very close to real, I think with the exception of things that are very obviously impossible. And so that takes a lot of time. Are you on set for a lot of that? Or is it like, there is the first unit stuff that you guys do with him, and then there is second unit stuff that is done without you?
No, we were like almost every day, every single day for 5 months. The car chase is 1 month. Every single day, the same scene. And that was our first scene. So we met basically in that car, driving extremely fast with a lot of guns and explosion every day. And that was our first week. And we just like look at each other being like, okay, this is gonna be mad. That's gonna be like crazy.
Is it fun to shoot something like that for a month at a time? Like Friedkin, the god of car chases, said after the French Connection that the most boring thing to film is a car chase because it's just about execution.
No, nothing is boring with Michael Bay. No. That's the thing. Like, it's
why is that?
It's crazy. It's hard. It's tough. It's not always like the most easy way to make movies. But also, like, we had so much fun. 2 things happened on that movie. First, the cast fell in love with each other after 2 days, and we never judge ourselves for like 5 months. We're still friends. We still see each other, not just like working, but just like being real friends and real family. And the second thing is just like you wait for hours, and then you go on set, and then you're a kid, and then you just like do funny stuff, and you're having a lot of fun. So it's just like that was really like we didn't get bored, and we had like the best time.
Yeah. I think Michael works in a very specific and, like you said, like crazy and chaotic way. But to describe him, it's just like he's a little kid who desperately and eagerly wants to create at all moments of the day. So even when you're on set and you're not on camera and you're not doing anything, he wants you to be doing something. He's like, how come everyone is not doing anything? He wants everyone on his sets to be creating at all moments and just go, 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 go. And I think it creates this adrenaline within all of us that you never have a second to get bored because you're always busy and questioning. You're like, what is going on? What are we doing? And you half the time you don't know what you're doing. I remember I asked him, I was like, Michael, what am I doing? He just looked at me, he's like, how did I just watch the movie? I'm like, Michael, I'm in the movie. Because his brain, he's so brilliant. His brain is always 5 steps ahead of yours. So you're constantly, as an actor, trying to chase what his next thought is. And you can't get there. He's too good for you to ever meet that, be on the same page as him.
Also, on a movie like this, on a movie this size, he's thinking about 50 other different things that could happen or could go wrong, right?
Yeah, and we just think about like how we're gonna survive. So it's like 2 different
because we didn't have a seatbelt in the back. No. And we were for a whole month, we just kept bumping into each other. I mean, we got so close. I pretty much bumped her head a couple times. She was on top of me. I was on top of her.
And one day we wanted to have like a souvenir of that, so we put our phones just to have a movie, and we stuck the phone somewhere, and then the car starts, and then the phone was like just like jumped into the car, and we were like, we had bruises like every day. That was crazy. The car chase was the movie. Like that was the spirit of working with Michael Bay.
That's why he opens it that way. Like this is gonna be this movie is gonna go like this for 2 hours, right? Like it's not gonna stop.
I mean, I think the easiest way to describe, like once you watch the movie and you experience the movie and it's so, it like really grasps you and takes you on this crazy journey of ups and downs. And exactly how it is to see the movie, I think it's how it was to film the movie, like almost the exact same experience. Like what you will feel is what we felt during.
Well, that's him, right? That's how he kind of likes his sets in a lot of ways.
Yeah, and also like he wants you to do a lot of stunt, and thank God for us, we had like the amazing stunts ever. So that was a partnership for sure.
How often did stunt people have to get between you guys and Michael Bay? Like, Michael, sorry, she cannot do this stunt.
Yeah, like most of the time. Highly
100%.
Right was my stunt. She's
Viola
the
was
one.
mine, and she was amazing. They both were.
But
incredible.
sometimes he wants your face. Sometimes he wants you like to do something, actually, like to do like a move, to wear some fight. So it's really a mix of, he really wants you to do most of it, and then because you want to leave, you just say like, no, I don't want to die today, so I'm not gonna do it. So it's kind of like a negotiation, because otherwise he would be like, and you jump, no, I'm not jumping, and then you do that, no, I'm not doing that. But I can do this. Oh, okay, so do that.
Is it like you just kind of nod at him and then look over at your stunt person like you're gonna do this, right? Yeah.
Oh no, you have to go at it. You're like, I'm not doing it, but Adria, but I'm not doing it. You can't just nod with Michael. I don't think he understands that.
But all those car scenes and all those explosion things, like we were here. Like that was the car chase is kind of like us most of the time.
Were you expecting that when you signed on to it? Like when you sign on to a movie like this, are they like, look, this is what it's going to be like on set, and this is how you're going to have to work with Michael. He's very committed to practical effects and to these stunts. And so you knew getting into it, or did you show up and were like, oh, this is how it's going to go?
I think no one can really prepare you for what a set with Michael really is. I mean, it honestly is fascinating. I would work with him in a heartbeat. Again, so that kind of sums up everything. Like it's crazy, but when I go to another set, I'm like, what's everyone doing? Like, why is everyone sitting down? Let's shoot. And I feel like I'm the Michael Bay of the new sets that I go on. I'm like, hello, come on, let's go. You know. But Michael,
I spoke to someone one time who was talking about working with someone that was crazy. Not that Michael Bay's crazy, I don't know. And they were basically, oh, he is crazy. Okay. And they were saying, like, well, what do you get into this business for if you don't want to work with a crazy person every now and then? It's part of what's fun about this.
I mean, he does everything. He operates the camera a lot of the time. Sometimes I know I did my own lighting at moments. I was like holding a boom, like a mic, with my foot. And then I was doing my own lighting and then hyperventilating over here, and Michael like grabbing the camera. He just wants you to be more involved.
Happening? This is $150 million.
But it's like a little indie movie, or no?
No, but he cannot wait 1 sec. Oh, okay. So, for example, there is lighting somewhere, and on day 3, he arrived in the car. I was just like, like relaxing for 1 sec, and he arrived in front of me. He put his phone here, and he was like, do something. And I was like, okay, first of all, I don't understand anything. What are you doing right now? Why are you filming me with the phone? Just tell me something. Just explain me something. It was like, I get bored. Nothing's happening right now. I'm just going to use that shot in the movie. Do something. I was like, okay. And it's in the movie. It's in the movie. It's the eyes, like I think it's the first opening scene for me. It's just like my eyes from the iPhone that day doing like, because he said, do something. And I was like, okay, I'm doing something. And it's in the movie.
Wow. Do you enjoy that? I mean, it's a completely different kind of experience, and it's passionate.
I was happy to to go back to my life after that and just to rest a little bit and just to have like a normal kind of life. But we had fun because it's just like it's another way to make movies. Right. I wouldn't do that all the time, but you have to just like let it go.
You've directed what, 4 movies now? Maybe more. Excuse me.
Yeah, no.
4 or 5?
5 with a documentary. Yeah.
5 movies. Is there a part of you that will take like behavior like that or a passion like that with you to your sets?
Well, I'm making French movies. They just like smoke cigarettes. They're watching the window. They think about things a lot. There is no. I have a very quiet set. I'm pretty like.
No reason to throw a phone in the face.
No, if I'm doing like, okay, and now you smoke like this, they're gonna be like, what? No. But I mean, like what I really learned from him is to let go.
Yeah.
The ego it cannot happen on a set like this. Like you cannot starting to be like, I don't want to do this. Can I have that? You don't even ask for like, you don't ask for anything. You're just there for 5 months, and you're a good soldier, and you just do what he wants. You're having fun. You work, and there is no space for any ego trip as an actor. And after 5 months of like working on a huge movie like this, and not feeling one sec action movie star, one sec like, oh my God, I was doing this. No, you were just like working. That was really good. I learned a lot, and we all learn like to let go, and I think, that's pretty important.
The movie's written by Rhett Reese and Paul Wernick, and Rhett has worked on the Deadpool movies with Ryan, so they're very well versed in sort of knowing how to make fun of what's happening on screen while also creating an audience investment. But I'm wondering how the cast found the sense of humor with each other, because it is a very funny movie at times. So how did the six of you sort of find that way to joke around and to play with each other on set, outside and within the action?
I mean, I think it all comes from, again, with the set that Michael creates, I think bonds cast members so much that once you have that chemistry as friends, it's so much easier to make fun of someone that you care about than someone that you don't care about, in my opinion. So I think the second that we all got really close, it was so much easier to start poking one another and kind of just having fun. And I think the chemistry is what makes these tiny little beats, especially all your scenes with Manu are so funny. And that comes from, I mean, you can say that, but I see the friendship there, the honest, genuine friendship that I saw off set. All of a sudden is being translated, on set. So it gives it this reality, and it becomes, I think, funnier, in my opinion.
Yeah, you work on the script and then you never do like anything from the script anymore. So
Really? So even there, he's sort of playing and tweaking and messing around.
Like the car chase, for example, most of it was just like improv about like what we were like looking at a lot. And I mean, like we worked with the master of that. Like Ryan Reynolds is like not just like smart, brilliant, amazing, cool, great partner. It's just like he's the master of that improv. And getting you like into the thing and be super generous with that, giving you ideas. Like English is not my first language. That was super hard for me to have like improv in English while I was shooting guns that I never did before. Like that was a lot to just like guard on that car chase, for example. And everybody was like, you gave me like lines. He was giving me like ideas to just like get the point and being like into it,
which I imagine is a completely different way of working than Quentin Tarantino, where it's very much like the comma is here for a reason, the period is here for a reason. Yeah,
Quentin is obsessed with dialogues,
his words, yeah,
and he's obsessed with like intimacy, and he has a very, very super close relationship with his actors. It's all about the pace. It's all about like, like quiet set. He's crazy too, but...
Are you crazy too as a director?
No, not at all. I'm crazy enough to work with those guys, but I'm not that crazy. No, I'm not crazy.
In what way is Quentin crazy?
No, he's crazy because I don't know if every genius have to be like crazy at some point, but they just like they're too smart. They have like a vision. Yeah, the vision of what they have in mind is just like too big. They don't have time sometimes to explain exactly what they have in mind, because they're just like, and they expect something super precise, and they want something because they imagine that so many times before. So you have to fit and to follow. But Quentin will take hours to explain what he wants. Michael wouldn't take like 1 sec.
or wouldn't.
Still doesn't.
He still doesn't.
Was there a sense early on when they were assembling the cast that they were looking for a group of people who would get along really well and play well with each other? Were there chemistry tests or anything like that?
No, we just got really, really lucky, I think. Like the luckiest. I've never I always say this, but I think that in every movie that you do, you're always like, oh, I love my cast so much. And then
lie.
And then we sometimes
Most of the time
sometimes we lie.
have
It's
to lie.
true. But this time it like bothers me because it actually is genuinely true. And I'm like, I've used that card way too many times. But like, we love each other so much. And we just got really
Michael
lucky.
makes a great foe, and all of you guys can, like, when he walks away, be like, that guy's crazy. Let's talk about it together.
Yeah, or
bond
let's
over it."
support each other. Or like, I got your back. You got my back yesterday. Don't worry. Relax. I got this day.
No, but we were lucky. We were really, yeah. Because and we coming from like different culture. Yeah. You should see us having debates at night, like in a restaurant in Italy, being like, let's talk about that. And then it's like 5 different ways to see the world and 5 different ways to see everything. And we could have just like fought and we always, I think it's about like not judging.
Yeah. And respecting
yeah.
one another. I mean, I was standing on top of a chair in the middle of the restaurant just 3 days ago. Giving a massive speech to
the
Manuel Rulfo,
I have the movie.
which you'll never show to anyone.
Never.
Ask what the speech was about, or no?
No.
Okay, fair enough. Fair enough.
But we're like so passionate about everything.
But we respect each other and we love each other. And I think that's beautiful. And I think you see it in the movie, you know, so many different cultures and ethnicities and religions coming together and just like being who we are and accepting who we are and loving each other for who we are. You see that.
And for example, in the script, they didn't really like each other.
Yeah, one
in
in
the
5.
story. They were like kind of like enemies, a little bit like the thing of like the 2 women in a team, you know, like and on day 2 we went to Michael and we said like Michael, and then we got him for 2 seconds and we're like, we want to be friends, we don't want to play enemies, and he was like, okay, fine. And we played totally different things because we just like we wanted to be
I
like,
mean, it would have been impossible.
yeah,
I think.
we
How does
didn't
that
want to
work?
play
Does he
that.
then bring the writers in and they rewrite your pages kind of thing? Or is it just like anytime the 2 of you are on screen together, you guys are just changing the dynamic?
Yeah, we were just changing that. We didn't really change any dialogues, but we were just like, the way we look at each other, it's just like, I'm still the freaks. You're still like judging me in the movie, being like, you're just like a psycho. But there is love. So it's not exactly.
Respect for that psychotic behavior.
Killing people.
I personally don't think I'm good enough of an actress to pretend to hate this woman. I'm just not. I'm not there yet.
We have time for a couple questions from the audience. Who's a question? Right here.
Hi.
Hey,
Hi.
how's it going? Good morning, afternoon, actually. So basically, I wanted to know, how do you go about preparing for your roles?
I guess it always starts from the script, but again, you kind of, most importantly here, I didn't know, I prepared for my role and what I thought it was going to be, and then obviously you get on set with Michael and it just kind of goes all over the place, you know. So it obviously starts from the script. I loved the fact that my character didn't shoot guns and wanted to save people, and those are kind of seeds that to me were really important. We did physical training for the movie, but I think once you start working with Michael, you just kind of surrender and you say, "All right, sir, whatever you want. What do you want this scene to be like?" And you just go about that and try to maintain your character that you created as much as possible.
I was a little bit frustrated because I've been cast 2 weeks before. So I was on vacation and I was like drinking rosé, and suddenly they called me, and 2 days after I was like on a training, and a guy arrived. He asked me to do push-ups and abs, and I never did that before, and I cried. And I remember after a week, I couldn't even like walk because I was feeling even that part of my body was like hurting. And I arrived on that set with all those actors who did that before, and like doing like big movies and training and going to the gym was like something like you need to be in good shape, it's normal. And for me, that was just like so crazy and hard, and shooting guns like that was like insane. Like in the Tarantino movie, I have like a super small gun, period of time gun, and I'm shooting once.
Yeah.
That's it. and I didn't train for that, and I was like already like didn't really like it. And here, that was like insane. I had to just like deal with all those big guns, and the sound of it was like. So I cried a lot the first week, and then I was like, okay, you need to just like, do something about that. And then, to be honest, I kind of like was a little bit like addicted to being on shape. You know, like just like you have to be able to go through those 5 months because you don't want to be you want to be safe. You don't want to be like you don't want to injure yourself. So you need to be like. So we were like working I don't know how many hours a day, and then go to the gym, and then be sure you're gonna be fine. And I kind of like that. I didn't like the guns, but I like the being on shape.
And you would work out after shooting or before shooting?
Yeah, she would make me go with her too.
I was calling her at midnight, being like,
"Do you want to go to the gym?
We need to go there." Yeah, that was crazy.
One more.
Hi, guys.
Hi.
So I was wondering, what was your favorite part about acting in an action film?
Getting yelled at by Michael?
I think,
We have one.
and if I have one thing, I think it's how much I bonded with this cast. I think because everything was so crazy and there was so much explosion and you're so terrified because Michael really puts you in those situations. You know, that car was really going that fast. We didn't have seatbelts in the back. We were doing those donuts. You kind of just look at your castmate and just hold on and hope the camera's not, you know, looking at you and you're like, oh my God, we're gonna die. I think we're gonna die. And that day, Melanie would be like, no, we're not gonna die. You've got this. And then the next
Go to
day,
the gym.
Yeah, let's go to the gym. And then the next day, it would be the opposite. So we would always be with one another because everything was just so crazy and bizarre and big. So I think that's my favorite part, just bonding with the people that you work with.
I mean, we were in Brazil 2 days ago, and we saw the trailer with the audience for the first time. The last trailer, they just like been released, and we were like on the floor, and we like holding each other's hand, and we were like watching that crazy thing, and we're like super moving, and we were like super moved, and that was the whole thing. You know, it's not about like one moment because I don't even remember how many crazy moments we had, but at the end, watching that all together, being part of that huge movie, you know, that we're extremely lucky. So.
And we're lucky to have it. It comes out. Did you like that?
Yeah.
There we go.
That was
it comes
good.
Out, this Friday, right on Netflix, December 13th.
Yeah.
It's called Six Underground. It is truly a Michael Bay film. Congratulations on coming out alive, guys. Everyone give
Thank
Melanie
you.
and Adria a huge round of applause for being here.